In today's video, we're going to begin looking at inequalities. Today, we're just going to explore graphing inequalities and writing down algebraically what an inequality a graph is showing us. An inequality is a statement that two things are not equal. Generally, your familiarity with this idea is going to deal with greater than and less than symbols. There are also greater than or equal to and less than or equal to symbols. Okay, there are four major symbols that you need to be familiar with. And you're going to see all of them at one point or another today. So let's just get right into this. Draw a graph for each inequality. Our first inequality is the statement that x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so that symbol, if you do not recognize it, you might want to make a note that that symbol is greater than or equal to. So x means any number greater than or equal to 3. In order to show this, we first put a circle where 3 is on the number line. And when we first put this circle down, we put what we call an open circle or an empty circle. The circle is just marking that 3 is the number I'm interested in. Now I have two decisions to make. The first decision is whether or not to fill in that circle. The circle gets filled in when 3 is part of the group. And what I mean by that is, does the inequality say or equal to? X is greater than or equal to 3. So for this problem, we are going to fill in this circle on 3 because 3 is included. X is greater than, or it can be equal to 3. So we fill in our circle. How do we illustrate things that are greater than 3? Well, we just put an arrow coming out of our circle to the numbers that are greater than 3. And the numbers that are greater than 3 are to the right of 3. For number 2, we have x is greater than negative 6. So again, we find negative 6 on our number line and put a circle above it. Now for the record, I want to point out you can put these circles directly on the number line if you prefer. I'll do this one like this. But now when you put your arrow, especially since you're using pencil, you got to make sure I know which side it's on. Okay. So let's say this says x is greater than negative 6. It does not say or equal to, so we cannot fill this circle in. Greater than is to the right. Now I'm using drawing tools on an iPad, so you can clearly see that I put an arrow to the right. But if you're just using a pencil, that might not be overly visible. So you would need to, if you're going to draw right on the number line, shade, which just means make it very, very clear which side we're filling in. Now, given that most of you use mechanical pencils and the lead is very likely to snap when you do this, this is why I generally put my circles above the number line and then just use an arrow, which is what I will do from here on out. In number 3, we have negative 4 is less than or equal to m. Now, something important to notice here is that our variable is on the right side instead of the left side. And with equations, it didn't matter in the slightest. But with inequalities, that can lead us to make a mistake when we make our graph. My suggestion, anytime the variable is on the right side, you just want to take the inequality and spin the whole darn thing. Move the m to the left side and the negative 4 to the right side, but also flip the inequality symbol so that it still opens towards the m, it points at the negative 4. The reason I recommend doing this is it makes reading this and graphing it much simpler. M is greater than or equal to negative 4. So we start by marking negative 4, because of the or equal to, we will fill in that circle. And greater than is everything to the right. If you try to do this from the original inequality, where it says -4 is less than or equal to m, I think you'll mark the -4 correctly, but it's probably a 50-50 toss-up if you put the arrow heading to the right direction. Always take a moment, if your variable isn't first, to rewrite the inequality so it is. Same thing will happen when we're solving inequalities. If we solve one and get a solution where our x or whatever letter we're using is on the right side, I'm going to say stop, rewrite your final answer so the variable is first. All right, at this point, you've seen the general idea. I invite you to pause the video and attempt 4 through 8. I'm going to go through them a bit faster. Greater than or equal to 0, so I put a circle at 0. It is or equal to, so I fill it in. Greater than means arrows to the right. 6 is less than or equal to v. I'm going to rewrite that as v is greater than or equal to 6. Circle at 6. Fill it in because of the or equal. Arrow to the right because when I fixed it and put the variable first, it's v is greater than. In number 6, we again want to pause and rewrite our inequality to put our variable first. Our circle goes at -5. We do fill it in because it has the or equal to on it. X is less than or equal to -5. Less than is things to the left. In number 7, we don't need to rewrite, so we can put our circle at -1. We can fill it in because of the or equal to. A is greater than, so arrow is to the right, greater than or equal to -1. And number 8, x is less than or equal to 5, circle at 5. It is or equal to, so fill it in. Less than means to the left. The other task you're going to have today is writing the inequality, so basically working backwards. Now, do yourself a very simple favor here. Always put your variable first. So number 9, I'm going to put a variable, and then I'm going to write the number where the circle is, which on this graph is at 3. Now the question is, which way does the arrow point? It points to things that are less than 3, so we need less than. And is the circle filled in? It is. We need the or equal to. Again, number 10, start with x. The number that's got its marking is 6. 6 is a circle above it. Which direction does the arrow go? It goes to the right. It's showing things greater than 6, so x is greater than 6. Is 6 included? No, the circle is open. Do not put an or equal to with this inequality. In number 11, put down your variable, put down the number where the circle is, so x and -6. The arrow here on the graph points to the left, so it's pointing to things that are less than -6. And -6 is not included. That circle is open. X is less than -6. X and 6 for number 12. Arrow points to the right, so x is greater than 6. The 6 is included. The circle is filled in, so we put the or equal to on it. For number 13, we're going to have x and -1. Arrow points to the left, so x is less than -1. The circle is empty, so we leave it as x is less than -1. And in number 14, we have 6 as our point of interest, so we're going to have x and 6. The arrow goes to the right, so x is greater than 6. And the 6 is not included, so we do not put the or equal to on this inequality.